the Cova Tembel podcast, global news and personal views, hosted by your new friend, Yaron. Welcome. Come in, sit right next to the buffet table, and make yourselves right at home.
Hello everyone, my name is Yaron and welcome to the Cova Tembel podcast. I'm here again to discuss issues that are on my mind. This is the 5th episode of the Cova Tembel podcast, and I really want to thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to listen. If you are new here, thank you, and if you are coming back, thank you too. It's November 30th, 2024. Let's get to it. This episode's topics are the hostage situation, ancient discoveries, and I'm not talking about Cher or Madonna. Australia passes a social media ban for under 16-year-olds. The DJ Corner, Cova Tembel music song entitled All Dreams Are Wrought in Heaven. Stay tuned for that. And a special issue that I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to give you a 7-step guide to attracting friendly alien life forms. That's right, extraterrestrials. Then we're going to go into This Week in History, and I'm going to leave you with a silly parting joke. So stay tuned until the end. 101 women, children, and men are still being held captive in Gaza by Hamas and other terrorist organizations. Some of whom we just don't know if they're under family care or if they are in the tunnels. We just don't know. The negotiations are still ongoing, and let's hope and pray that a breakthrough will happen very soon, and hopefully this time our prayers will be answered. During a family trip, a 12-year-old girl by the name of Daphne Philsteiner found an ancient scarab amulet. The girl, Daphne, was hiking with her family at the Nahal Kana archaeological site in Hod HaSharon. Suddenly, she discovered an unusual find on the ground, and she picked it up, and apparently it turned out to be an Egyptian scarab amulet that is about 3,500 years old. Now that's quite a find. And the amulet was examined by a Dr. Yitzhak Paz, who is an expert on the Bronze Age at the Israel Antiquities Authorities. And the little scarab amulet, it seems that it's going all the way back to the New Kingdom period in Egypt. And on it, the amulet has 2 scorpions standing head to tail. And according to Dr. Paz, quote, the scorpion symbol was a symbol of the Egyptian goddess Serket, who was responsible, among other things, for protecting childbirth. And another decoration that appears on the amulet is the symbol of Nefer, which is in Egyptian means good or chosen. And on another important discovery, an ancient coin with biblical connections was found in Turkey, of all places, and it was engraved with King Solomon. And archaeologists from Karabuk University in Hadrianopolis, which is a city on the Black Sea. They found the coin, and according to tests they had on it, it appears to be at least 1500 years old. I mean, talk about rare finds. The object is made of metal and is about the size of a large coin, and it depicts a dramatic battle sequence and bears a short inscription. On one side of the coin, there's an engraving of King Solomon sitting on a horse and attacking the devil with a spear. Now, I don't remember a biblical story of King Solomon attacking a devil with a spear, but according to the Bible anyway, Solomon was the king of David, as we know, and he was credited with building the first temple in Jerusalem. So I'm wondering how that little coin-sized coin made it all the way to Turkey. That could be an interesting story. Anyway, also on the little coin there are written inscriptions, and one of the inscriptions says, translated into English of course, "Our Lord has conquered the devil," or "Our Lord has conquered evil." And on the back of the coin there are inscriptions of the names of 4 angels: Michael, Gabriel, Israfil, and Azrael. So I found that these stories very interesting when they find these ancient relics and coins and amulets, and it just makes us, at least it makes me think about how long civilization has been around here in these areas, in these parts, and how many civilizations have changed hands in this area. So I found that very interesting, and I hope you did too. Now, Australia passed a ban on social media for under 16-year-olds. That's a different part of the world, and it's happening now. I mean, I don't think they would have thought about social media back then, 1500 years ago or 3500 years ago. And the social media ban was passed by the Australian Parliament, and apparently tech companies are being warned to strengthen security before an unspecified deadline. This comes after months of intense public debate, and under the new law, the tech companies risk fines of about 50 million Australian dollars, which is about 32 million US dollars. And I wanted to have a little conversation about that, because is the freedom, my question is the freedom of accessing information should be banned from young people. One of the companies suggested, Snap, that's who suggested it, that the ban should be on a device level age verification process, where whoever is registered on the device, if that kid is at at a certain age, then they could limit their access to the information and not have everything available, because the people are worried about, the people who wanted the ban are worried about bullying online and the many very hard effects of that social media has on young minds. Now, according to Danny El-Achi, who apparently is the co-founder of Heads Up Alliance, which advocated the ban, his daughter, when she was 10 years old, broke her cell phone, her smartphone, and Danny El-Achi and his wife did not buy her a new one, and so she was devastated, this girl, and she didn't have any access. She didn't have a smartphone, so she didn't have any access to social media. But apparently she's now 14, and she says that she's still free from social media and smartphones, and she is, quote, loving life. So Danny El-Achi, who's the founder of Heads Up Alliance, also believes that every school in the country should have no phones policy, a no phones policy for students. And I'm wondering, what do you think about that? Should social media or even smartphones in general be limited by age, and should schools have a no phones policy for students? When I was growing up, we didn't have any of that, and I think our generation turned out okay. I mean, I think that the access or the exposure to so much can, if you don't have the right filter, and that is, if you don't have around you a network of support that can guide you through all that information and sift through all that, I don't want to call it garbage, but many of all that social media posts that don't advance humanity and only take it back. So that was my rant about social media being banned in Australia, but I want to follow up on that, and I think I will. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept of, the minute I wake up, I check my smartphone, and I wonder if I could have a self-ban from smartphones and social media until, let's say, noon, as long as I could take it. But there's a lot of fear of missing out feelings, so I'm not going to do it. All right, well, here we come to the DJ corner, and we have another song from the Cova Tembel music project, and this song is entitled All Dreams Are Wrought in Heaven. The song was originally sung by Yardena Arazi in Hebrew. The original lyrics were written by Rachel the poet. She was born Rachel Bluestein. The music was composed by Moshe Daniel and Moti Levi. The English words were written by myself, and the vocals and the harmonies are Corina Castillo. She sings and does the harmonies. And Philipp Kreitzer from Germany did the mixing. And the musical production was done by Les Ford in Nashville, Tennessee. So this is definitely an international project. Here you go. I hope you enjoy the song.
Yes, I would say all dreams are wrought in heaven. All masks and veils, sparks dissolved by light. The voice of the past, the future, and the present. Contempt of the wounds and solace of the flight. Yes, I would say all dreams are wrought in heaven. All masks and veils, sparks dissolved by light. The voice of the past, the future, and the present. Contempt of the wounds and solace of the flight. Behold, a soul enshrines a cavern secret. A youthful heart awake and close the veil. A day so clear and cold in flames burn sacred. A simple truth beget by silent prayer. In him called Odyssey, a chapter rule all crowns. When in the dead of night my river lies in dark, to which I will succumb, near rebel and near rouse, and drown to quench my thirst, whispers of its love. Yes, I would say all dreams are wrought in heaven. All mask and veils, fogs dissolved by light. The voice of the past, the future, and the present. Contempt of the wounds and solace of the flight. Behold, a soul enshrines a cavern as I would say, our dreams are wrought in heaven.
I hope you like that song. I love the original, and I do love this version by Karina Castillo. By the way, I believe she's from Spain, or could it be Italy? So I will leave the link to the video in the description. If you like the content that I'm giving you, so I appreciate you listening again. So if you do like it, please like, comment, and share, and subscribe. And you might want to tell all your friends about the world's best new podcast, and then tell them about this one too. So thank you very much for that. I recently saw that the issue of UFOs has come up again, and I know that the topic of UFOs has been around for thousands of years, and recently, really it has been, I've seen more and more headlines about it, and more people are coming out with their UFO stories, suggesting that we are not alone in this universe. Now, there have been several developments that I've saw online in the UFO story. For example, in the US Congress in the past few weeks, lawmakers like Chuck Schumer attempted to force the Department of Defense to provide more details about the unidentified objects that are hovering over American airspace. In the meantime, a topic that has let down many alien hopefuls in recent years may receive more clarity, quote, from the incoming Trump administration and its UFO curious intelligence staff. I will leave you a link for these sources. According to the Pentagon's most recent report on UFOs, there have been hundreds of new reports of unexplained and unidentified aerial phenomena, but there are no signs that they have an alien origin. There's no proof of that. And hundreds of instances of misidentified balloons and birds and satellites are included in the review, along with some enigmatic objects that are difficult to explain. I just want to say that with all this interest in UFOs, I thought I'd put my 2 cents in and relate back to Nikola Tesla's statement that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And also what Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It is a preview of life's coming attraction. And I wanted to put these two ideas together and create a guide, which I will talk about in a second, but a guide to attracting friendly alien life forms. And according to the Tesla belief system or ideas, energy, which vibrates at various frequencies, makes up everything in the universe. we also emit energy that vibrates at a specific frequency. That is, each of us during our waking hours and our sleep, we all emit a specific frequency that is unique to our own self, but that still those frequencies can match up. The energy that makes up our thoughts and emotions vibrates at a specific frequency. Alright? And focusing our thoughts on something causes us to release a signal with a particular frequency. So when you think something and when you feel something, when your thoughts create an emotion in you, that is a frequency that you emit. And after being sent out into the cosmos, that is from you to, I guess, infinity, this signal starts to draw in energy that vibrates at the same frequency. Are you already, getting a hint of what I'm getting at? Now, before I continue to the guide to attracting friendly alien life forms, I want to talk about a song that I really like, and I really think it's apt to our conversation, and it's called "Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft." And the version that I like most is by the Carpenters. The original song was written by a Canadian rock band called Klaatu. And Klaatu, the band is named after Klaatu, which is the fictional character that is a humanoid alien in the 1951 science fiction film The Day the Earth Stood Still. I still remember watching it on TV as a kid and loving it. I really thought it was a great sci-fi and philosophical movie. Well, anyways, the song is also Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft is also the unofficial song of World Contact Day, which is the day when we contact, an alien life form. And I'm still not talking about Cher or Madonna. I'm going to leave the link to the song, but I also want to give you some of the lyrics, a part of the lyrics, not the whole song. Now, the lyrics are very interesting, and leave it to Canadians to make that kind of a song, to write that kind of a song. Okay, here it goes. In your mind, you have capacities, to telepath messages through the vast unknown. Please close your eyes and concentrate with every thought you think upon the recitation we're about to sing. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft, calling occupants of interplanetary craft, most extraordinary craft. You've been observing our Earth, and we'd like to make a contact with you. We are your friends. Leave it to Canadians to be such friendly people, even to strangers, complete strangers. They just love you. I'm not surprised it was written by a Canadian. And I wanted to focus on the telepathing messages through the vast unknown, and we are your friends. And I when I was reading all this material, I asked myself, with all this UFO talk and song, what if we can attract into our reality actual extraterrestrials using the two statements, the two ideas made by Tesla and Einstein? And if so, what kind of qualities should we vibrate for in attracting aliens? I think this is my take on it. As long as we are going to vibrate in a frequency that would attract aliens, I think we should vibrate for friendliness, loving, intelligent, humorous, life forms. Life forms that practice proper hygiene, that's important to me, that are musically inclined. For a minute there, I was thinking maybe we should have we should contact a group of aliens that are like Groucho Marx. But he isn't too great, he's not too pleasant to look at. So that's another quality that I'd like to have in an alien, in an extraterrestrial, and also someone who is peaceful. And more questions arose as I was going through this, like what kind of aliens should we vibrate for, and what kind of frequency will we need to vibrate, and how? What would that kind of vibration feel like? How would it feel? What process can take us there and bring them here? And what kind of frequency does an alien have who wants to make contact with us? What kind of frequency should we vibrate for that? I mean, we'd have to want it as a frequency. We would have to have a frequency of wanting to meet an alien if we want to meet an alien who wants to meet us. I hope it makes sense. So here it is, the guide, the 7-step guide to attracting a friendly alien life form. I based this process on an article I read in bshko.com. I will leave you the link. Alright, the 7-step guide to attracting friendly alien life forms. Step 1. Connect with your vibrational feelings. This meets up with Tesla's statement. And throughout the day, start observing the frequency at which you are emitting. When you notice that you are vibrating low, stop and consider the reasons behind it. Are you having doubts about the existence of extraterrestrials? You can begin the process of releasing these doubts as soon as you know their cause. Does contacting aliens matter to you at all? So you got to work on that on step 1. Connecting with your vibrational feelings. Step 2. Infuse your life with effective vibrations. Ask yourself, at what kind of frequency a friendly alien vibrates, and get the answer from the universal mind. Do things that bring you joy. Surround yourself with beautiful things and spend time with people who make you feel good and that share your beliefs about making contact with alien life forms. It will be simpler for you to boost your own energy when you are surrounded by effective energy, the one that advances your desire. So that was step 2, infuse your life with effective vibrations. Step 3, pay attention to what you intend to attract. What kind of life form do you wish to meet? You can use the qualities I listed earlier. Your intention should guide every thought and action you take, and then the universe will begin to cooperate with you to achieve your goals once you are clear about them. And it helps to write them down. So that was step 3, paying attention to what you intend to attract. Step 4, imagine your objectives. And this meets up with Einstein's statement. Imagine yourself meeting the extraterrestrial you desire to meet, and imagine yourself realizing your dream of sitting down, for example, for a chat with one of the extraterrestrials over coffee and donuts. It doesn't have to be like anything special. You can just make it a daily, a part of your daily routine, something realistic. Your visualization will be more effective if it is more detailed. To truly experience what it would be like to accomplish your goal, use all of your senses in your visualization. Your sense of sight, your sound, smell, taste, touch. Well, I don't know about touch. Aliens also have their own right to privacy. So that was step 4, imagining your objectives. Step 5, are you writing these down? Step 5, make progress towards your objectives. Start taking action to achieve your goals as soon as you have a clear idea of what you want. The idea of what kind of alien you would like to meet. Hopefully you want a friendly one. The universe will give you the chance to accomplish your objectives, but you must be prepared to act. What will you do when you attract an extraterrestrial? Will you bake a cake? What will you do? I personally suggest preparing a welcome wagon that will offer some of our best food. And because the aliens might be hungry after a 10 billion light year trip. So that was step 5, making progress toward your objectives by taking action. Step 6, have patience. That's important. Our energy, the frequencies, may not always match our intentions right away. The aliens might not necessarily receive your vibrations immediately through what could be, 10 million light years, 10 billion light years, although at a certain frequency it could happen immediately. Meanwhile, while you're waiting for your alien to show up, vibrate in the frequency that everything will work out in the end, and trust that the universe is working for you. So that was step 6, patience. Step 7, and that's the last step, give up control and let things happen. Once you do that, by relaxing, letting go of any attachment to the result, you are making a universal channel, like a black hole that can actually create a tunnel in space and time that through which your friendly alien, can show up. Um, and I remind you that you want to make contact with an alien who wants to meet you too. I mean, it wouldn't be nice to attract an alien who's just minding his own business and you made him come here. And let it happen naturally. The rest will be handled by the universe once you're in alignment with your vibrational intention. Simply relish the experience and vibrate in the frequency that everything is taking place for your best benefit. And by the way, this could attract aliens that are, could be already living in our planet right now. And you never know, maybe we can beam them down like in Star Trek. According to Tesla and Einstein, the aliens won't have a choice but to arrive. So we just might manifest them in our conscious experience. I mean, that's what it's really all about. I mean, there is nothing outside you. The only thing that is, quote unquote, outside you is another part of you that you just don't see. And through these frequencies and vibrations, you bring it to your conscious experience. Right now, it's in your unconscious experience. And if you want to bring an alien to your life, well, good for you. I mean, at least make it a friendly one so we can all, relax. And this is pretty scientific. I mean, if these ideas are made by two of the world's greatest minds, then this can happen. Although I think that if you want to bring the aliens, not just on a personal level but on a global level, the process will probably need a critical mass of humanity to pull it off. So we can start here. The 7-step guide to the attracting alien life forms. And with all this friendly and peaceful vibrating, perhaps we can make a movie franchise called Star Peace instead of Star Wars, and then unleash a universal tsunami of love that washes clean the entire planet in the frequency of friendliness and goodwill, and perhaps vibrate in a frequency that brings people back home. Okay, that was my rant about UFOs. I hope you liked and put into practice the 7-step guide to attracting an alien life form. You never know what it could do. All right, let's begin this week in history.
This week in history.
November 30th, 1979, Pink Floyd's album The Wall, which we touched on in my last episode. The Wall is released, and it sells 6 million copies in 2 weeks. And in 1982, November 30th, 1982, Thriller, Michael Jackson's 6th studio album, is released, and the rest is history. It became the best-selling album of all time. Alright, December 1st, 1990, British and French workers meet in the middle of the Channel Tunnel under the English Channel. And I believe they were serving fish and French fries. By the way, this is from onthisday.com. December 2nd, 1929. The first skull of a Peking man found in the cave of Zhuhudian, 50 kilometers outside of Peking, China. Later, it was dated roughly 750,000 years old. Wow. That's really going back. December 3rd, 1967. First human transplant performed in South Africa by Dr. Christian Bernard on Louis Washkansky, who was diabetic, probably from eating all those sufganiyot on Hanukkah. December 4th, 1197. Crusaders wound Rabbi Eliezer ben Yehuda. Apparently, 2 crusaders broke into his house and murdered his wife and 2 daughters before his eyes. And in spite of this horrendous experience, he continued to teach a doctrine of love, of humanity. December 5th, 1932, Little Richard was born as Richard Penniman, who had hits with Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, and Good Golly Miss Molly. December 6th, 1877, Thomas Edison enters the offices of Scientific American and turns the crank on his cylinder phonograph, astonishing those present with the recording, "Good morning, how do you do? How do you like the phonograph?" And these were the first questions ever recorded too, I guess. Okay, I'm going to leave you with a silly parting joke. These are from rd.com, Reader's Digest. Okay, here it is. The barman says, "We don't serve time travelers in here." A time traveler walks into a bar. I warned you. Well, Sweet Home Planet listeners, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. See you all again next week with more topics that I hope you'll also find fascinating. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about any or discuss any issues in my next episodes. And until next time, take care of yourselves and be kind and friendly to one another.
You've just listened to the Cova Tembel podcast, so you might be experiencing an adverse reaction. If symptoms persist, kindly seek a traveling circus.
What are you still doing here?